On this week's show, we visit the South Pole with Honors Environmental Science, showcase the vibrant a cappella community, profile Girls Varsity Ice Hockey, and Daniel Joseph offers us some thoughts on the early morning Harkness discussion. Lawrenceville's 10-minute newscast begins right now.
From the studios inside the Lawrenceville School's historic Pop Hall, this is L10 with Aiden Duffy.
Happy New Year, everyone, and welcome to this week's show. On January 4th, as Winter Storm Grayson hit the Northeast, the Lawrenceville community enjoyed a rare snow day. Laurentians, undeterred by the bomb cyclone, took to the circle for snowball fights and snowman construction. Fifth formers Nikhil Gopal, Yash Tanga, and Bradford Lynn have been named 2018 Regeneron STS Scholars. One of the nation's most distinguished pre-college science competitions, Gopal, Tanga, and Lynn, selected from over 1,800 entrants, will receive $4,000 in awards and scholarships. STS alumni have gone on to win Nobel Prizes and National Medals of Science. The 2018 Wells Awards were announced. Congratulations to fourth formers Samantha Bebel, Natalie Carr, Sarah Dasgupta, Chase Johnson, Jasmina Khan, Teddy Masterson, Simona Mazzarella, Andrew Nee, Ashley Oden, and Johnny Yu, who will spend the summer pursuing their academic interests thanks to a Wells Award, established in memory of William Booton Wells, Lawrenceville class of 1971. Congratulations to Robert Ank, who won the 1,000-meter run in 2:34 at the Bishop Laughlin Games in Staten Island, New York. Mohamed Jakite was named to the Times of Trenton All-Area Football Team Defense Squad, adding to the honors he has received this year. Before winter break, Science Master Stephen Laubach brought scientist Thomas Muir to his Honors Environmental Science class from the South Pole via teleconference. Sean Singh finds out how this researcher's work at the South Pole Station relates to topics discussed in class.
So, Dr. Laubach, can you tell us about Dr. Muir's research in the South Pole?
Yes, he studies a type of subatomic particle called a neutrino. It's smaller than electrons, and it can be used to ask questions about the origins of the universe. It travels in a straight line. It's not affected by magnetic fields, but it's very difficult to pick up. And so they do their research down at the South Pole Station because ice is a particularly good medium for capturing the radio waves that neutrinos emit. So he's involved in a National Science Foundation project where they're building a series of 40 antennae in the ice that pick up neutrino signals. And neutrinos are released by events like supernovas and other things where they can study questions about the origins of the universe.
So what would you say was Dr. Muir's most exciting story that he told you?
I think just when we were doing the conference call, just students to be able to visualize what it was like to live in the South Pole. And he said the hardest thing wasn't actually the cold, it was the dry air. It's basically a desert there. And it's so dry in terms of how your skin cracks that was what he found to be the most challenging thing. So I think it was interesting for students to hear what temperature it was there in the middle of their summer. It was about minus 20 degrees. And then what were the challenges of life down there.
Thank you, Sean. The a cappella community on campus is dynamic and diverse. Isabel Sweeney catches up with the Larrys, Rouge, and Voicemail to bring us this report.
What's the audition process like?
We look for voices that can blend together, so we care a lot about the big picture, so we're not necessarily looking for soloists as opposed to just voices that can work well together.
So the audition process is pretty simple. In the beginning of the year, around September, we invite anybody, no matter their experience, no matter if they've auditioned before, to come out to the music building and sing for us. They have a song that they prepare themselves, and then they sing a few exercises that we've prepared for them.
And we're just kind of looking for people that, a lot of it has to do with what voice part you are and how you would fit into the group and how your voice would fit in, and certain other things like how well you can match pitch go into it as well.
What does a typical day of rehearsal look like?
Well, I try and focus on teaching music. I'm really the one who arranges the music, and I really want to make sure we're staying on schedule with how fast we're learning things.
I like to let loose.
How do you two work together as co-presidents?
Very well, since Drew and her great ability to write music and compose music, we like to work on arrangements together.
And how's the group dynamic?
Voicemail is a lot of fun. We have some pretty crazy rehearsals. This year we really tried to balance you know, having fun and also getting things done.
And how would you say that Rouge stands out from the other two a cappella groups?
We're all girls.
That and we do a lot of events that are things that the student body doesn't get to see typically. So we perform at some fundraising events, we perform for the headmaster, and we have tried to change that over the years, trying to perform more for the student body. Aaron and I made it a goal this year to perform at meeting, which we did, which is really exciting, and also to perform at some of the Allegro shows this year.
What are some of your major performances?
Caroling has got to be the biggest thing that we do, or at least the favorite thing that we do. Basically, December, around the last week, or the half week before we leave, voicemail goes around to the girls' houses, and we sing songs in each one.
How has Larry's evolved since you've been here at Lawrenceville?
Yeah, I've been in Larry since freshman year, and it's just I feel like we've gotten a lot closer as a group. I think the closer you are and the more that you kind of get along and with the people around you, the better you sound performing and the more fun everything is. So I just think, you know, as time has gone on, we've just gotten really close as a group.
Thank you, Isabel. With the 2018 Girls Varsity Ice Hockey season underway, team member Kelsey McAllister takes us to the Laux Ice Center for this profile.
Hi, I'm Kelsey McAllister, here with Girls Varsity Ice Hockey coach Nicole Ulias. So coach, how has your season been going so far?
Season so far has been awesome. The girls are off to a good start, working hard. We've had some hard teams, but games have been close and doing well.
Having graduated 7 seniors last year, how as a coach do you approach the season knowing almost half your team is new girls?
The incoming players have been wonderful, just stepping up and coming in and being able to play. You know, each team it's always different, whether it's half new or all of them are the same from last year. But each year I'd say we go in and we're ready to play every time and have a ton of heart and just keep going till the end.
I'm here with senior captains Malia, Levison, and Bailey Mckeon. So how has your season been going so far?
I don't think it was the start we were particularly hoping for, but I think that our team plays with a lot of heart, and that like going through the rest of the season, I think that we're really going to pick it up. And I think like just being that our team is like a lot of new people, and like it's just like kind of a new team this year. So I think that going forward, like we kind of have gone through the period where we were really working hard, grinding it out, and just like working hard in practice and everything. And now we're kind of transitioning into the part where we start seeing like results in games and stuff. So I think that as we move forward to the end of the season, like it's gonna be great. I'm excited.
And as you reach the midpoint of the season, are there any goals that you and the team hope to achieve by the end of the season?
Like Bailey said earlier, we didn't really get the start we wanted with the season in terms of our record, but all the games we've lost have been really close, and I really think that in the coming games that we're going to start getting a bunch of wins, and I really hope to finish the season above 500.
I'm here with the only 4-year senior on the Girls Varsity Ice Hockey team, Anna Kother. So Anna, how has your season been going so far?
I think it's going pretty well. We had a couple wins to start off the season, which was really exciting, and you know we've got a lot of really young talent, and I think we're really starting to mesh well as a team, and I think it's gonna show in the next couple of games.
What's your favorite part about being on the team?
Just the camaraderie we have as a group of young athletes. We love each other. We love being on the ice, and it's a great support system, and we're all great friends. It's an awesome team to be on.
Thank you, Kelsey. Finally tonight, Dan Joseph offers some perspective on those early morning Harkness discussions.
Now, Harkness is great. It's a great way to learn, a great way to engage with your classmates, and an awesome method for getting to know your teachers in a close, intimate environment. But let's be real. Sometimes theory and practice are at odds at 8 a.m. on a Monday morning. So as a fifth former, let me offer some summative thoughts on Harkness. First, there are no prizes given to students who are first to whip out their binders and pens. Take your time, and the teacher will say something like, "So, what did you all think of the reading? Any burning questions?" It's 8 a.m. on Monday morning. The only thing burning is toast in Irwin. It's major assignments week. We're all exhausted and we can't remember the reading. Finally, the Harkness warrior of the class has known what they wanted to say the whole time. He'll respond to the question, but he'll talk for way too long. They'll go on and on, watching the understanding drain from everyone's faces until finally they finish with something like, "You know what I mean?" Then, a student who thought it might have been a good day to start drinking coffee will respond to the Harkness warrior with a quote from the text that has absolutely no relation to what Mr. Harkness warrior just said. I mean, he'll pull out a reading from Applied Ethics in our honors biology class. And the teacher, willing to encourage interdisciplinary connections, nods and says something like,
"Yeah, nice."
And then, like Plato at the feet of Socrates, someone will add,
"Yeah, and building off Mr. Harkness warrior, I think that's really interesting because I heard one time from like my cousin who's like a neuroscientist that what we're talking about is actually like super important because it like carbon emissions and like saving the polar ice cap." And
all right, well, that's great and all coming from the person who is drinking out of a huge non-recyclable Starbucks cup, but I just have to ask, how does that relate to music theory?
Thank you, Dan. That is our broadcast for this second week of January 2018. From all of us here at L10, thank you for watching and good night.